Welcome back. Innovation only matters when it reaches the mission. That's according to Maximus Vice President Bryan Martz. He says software factories may enable agencies to move faster than ever, but speed in development doesn't always translate to speed in the field. He joined Francis in the field at West 2026.
Bryan, what are the biggest challenges that you're seeing organizations run into as they're trying to switch from an innovation model to actually turning that into operational capability?
If you take Maximus, for example, we're a traditional sustainment company. So transitioning to support, at the speed of need, I'll say, to get capabilities forward. The services have all done a really good job of building software factories, but there's a gap right now in getting ATO'd capabilities to the edge devices. So building out a platform as a service, something you deploy those things out quickly that are secure, deployable, and get to those end users more quickly. And companies need to adjust on how we've done the traditional build it, test it again, and then deploy it. We've just got to accelerate that. So at Maximus, we've set up an innovation lab, and we're trying to get after it at the far left end of the cycle as opposed to the far right end of the cycle.
You used a term before we went on the air that syncs with what a lot of the uniform leaders are talking to me about here, and that is finding solutions that are 80% ready. Why is that important from your perspective as a vendor serving the government, and why do you think that's important to the government people who are looking for solutions?
I've been doing this over 40 years, 20 plus years as a green suiter, and the last 20 as industry. And I've seen more programs fail trying to complete that last 5 to 10% to meet the specs and meet the requirements when the capability is really force ready, and trying to get it perfect. We spend a whole lot of money trying to get that last, eighth of a mile when it's not really necessary. If we can get 80% solutions out in the field today that are capable of what the mission needs are, again, at the, need of speed, that's the key, getting them downrange more quickly. So let's stop wasting time on trying to make it perfect, and let's make it operational.
Are you seeing more willingness to accept that and not require that last mile?
Yeah, in fact, I can't tell you how many events like today I've been at that the PM shops and the operational shops, they're all saying the same thing. Give me a solution that is 80% there, that's operational, that I can put my warfighters' hands today on those edge devices and get after it.
Mm-hmm. What are the techniques that you're seeing those organizations use, and what are the techniques that a company like yours can help them do to close that loop, to get something into the field that does the job, that is that 80% ready?
Yeah, so the first thing is you've got to build the security into the system and the capability. It's got to be built in and baked in all the way through the process. You can't get to the 11th hour and then think about that as, oh yeah, we got to run through this ATO process, and we're not there. So you've got to do that up front. And the second thing is, got to talk to the users. You have to understand that what they told us a year ago as their mission need may have evolved, and if we can evolve with them during that development cycle, then you can deploy something that is capable.
Mm-hmm. You anticipated my next question, which is the importance of talking to the end user and knowing how it works in that person's hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I grew up as an operator. There's nothing more frustrating than finally getting a system delivered to us, and we're like, wait a minute, my mission has changed and this does me no good. And then, at a tactical unit or strategic unit, they sit in the closet because there's no utility for it.
How do you propose that some of the PMs that you talked about and from a vendor side, how do you measure the progress and measure the success in situations like this when you're trying to transition from an idea to a capability?
Again, it's all about the communication between industry and our mission partners, sitting down with those PMs, doing iterative demos of the capability, along with that operational community, making sure that you're closing that gap from, the front end where you've innovated to where you can get it operationalized, having that free and open dialogue.
Quick final thought. When you come to a place like this, what do you try to learn, and what do you try to talk to folks about?
Yeah, I think that's the mistake I've made a lot in my career. I go with an agenda. Got to be flexible and listen to what this user community is telling us, because what you think you're going to hear isn't always the case. So just be open, listen to what their real needs are, and then think about what you've developed back home that maybe could help fix that problem or meet that challenge for them.
Learn more about deployment, authorization, and sustainment across edge environments on today's show page at fedgovtoday.com.